Hi, superheroes. I'm Pink Phoenix, coming to you from Purdue University College of Veterinary Medicine's League of VetaHumanz. This week we have VetaHumanz Live New Year's Edition with Celestial Seraph. Thanks for being on the show.
For having me.
And what I've been waiting to ask you is, tell us about the red belt test.
I'm pretty sure that I passed. So usually what happens is directly after the whole testing thing, the black belt judges come together and then they have it looks like a secret meeting, honestly. It makes me laugh. And they decide if they all think that you're ready to proceed to the next rank. And then usually when it's back to your own dojang to practice, your sensei will come to you and be like, okay, so you passed in the belt ceremony or whatever is whatever day. So because I did my testing all the way in Iowa, I'm pretty sure I passed with all the good remarks I was hearing. But if I did, I'm probably not going to receive my red belt until the taekwondo ceremony. That's in March.
In March? So we have to wait a few more months before you can show it on the video.
Yeah.
So how did it go?
What was it like? Went great. I was a little nervous because I didn't get to practice so much of my Korean as I wanted, because normally as an advanced belt, you should know your movesets and whatnot in Korean. But the referee who was telling us what to do, he also did the hand signals of what moves you're supposed to do, because he was okay, I know that y'all weren't practicing your Korean, we all know this, so let me help you out. So I think I did pretty okay. Everyone was your kicks were super, super high, and I didn't believe them until one of my friends who was taking pictures for the club got a picture of me, and I was oh my god, that kick is really high.
They were the pictures you share with me.
Yeah.
That was so impressive. Oh,
yeah,
it's wild.
I've been practicing.
Well done.
Thanks.
Very excited to see this belt here in a few months. Now I have to wait a little longer. So you are coming off an extended break here. Tell us what else you did over break.
So literally the last day of finals, I treated it as I'm officially on break, and we just came from the behavior exam, and I felt I did really good on it. So I was talking to my brother, and I was what should I do to celebrate? And he's you should go out to eat, like a self date. You worked very hard. Go wherever you want, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, all three.
Yeah.
And just treat yourself. So that's what I did for that day to celebrate, and I had a great time just talking to my brother on the phone and just eating whatever I wanted.
That's awesome.
Because testing is over. I don't even have to wonder about watching my weight or whatever.
Yeah.
And then for a week, for about a solid week, I was having fun, just waking up whenever I wanted and just rotting in my bed all day, just watch shows or I was honestly also preparing for when my brother was coming, because it's expensive for me to go home. And my brother was well, it's cheaper for me to come up there. So I was okay, great. So he came up maybe 5 days before Christmas. And he stayed until January 2nd. So that whole 1.5-ish weeks, I was just planning out days with him, and we were just going wherever he wanted to go, because he's never been to the States.
Cool.
Yeah. So, and we don't have all the amenities that the States have back in the Virgin Islands. So he had a great time. According to him, he was it was the best vacation he's ever had.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And then this last week was just me relaxing, or definitely setting up my OneNote. I actually forgot how to do that for the new semester. So I had to do a little refresher course and setting up a new notebook for the spring, and still pretty much just waking up when I want to and running my bed and doing what I want, because I know as soon as the semester begins, I'm not gonna have that time.
Yeah, just this weekend, right? That's it. I love it. I'm so glad you took time for yourself and family and to just chill, because you've been putting in so much effort with vet college and with the red belt.
Yeah.
So we're starting 2025 here. What are your goals for the new year and your strategies to accomplish them?
I would say my biggest goal as of like right now, like today, has to definitely do with this semester because I'm still trying to like set up like a schedule or whatnot with working in the ER. Like I've
Oh,
still
yeah.
been like reaching out with emails and this and that, and then it's just like a whole thing, and we still hadn't gotten it like set up yet. And me being the person I am, I like to have my schedule solidified. So even though I have my classes and whatnot, I'd like to have my work schedule also solidified because then I have to like work around when I get up, when I have to come back home to take the dog out, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. With like saving time to go to the gym and making sure I still like participate in other extracurricular activities. So I think my biggest goal I had for this semester is like getting that down pat and then actually like getting that hands-on experience.
Yeah.
So, and then balancing that with like classes. I was like worried about that. But the way how I was like reading the vet student like work agreement thing is like it's really flexible. They only need you to work at least I think a minimum of like 5 hours a week at least. So I was
Okay.
like, that's doable. I can make that work. So
That's good. Yeah, and you always try it, right? You can do more if you can do more, and you do less if you can't. Excellent. I'm excited for that opportunity for you. It's going to be cool. So I know you're excited about that work. And what are you excited coursework or topic work
oh God,
this semester?
I'm like so nervous for this semester because when I was like doing like setting up the notebook for this semester, I was like, what are these courses? Like, what is neuroscience? I already knew when I saw immunology, I was like, oh my God, we're probably gonna be talking about like vaccines and stuff in there. And I've heard big talk about comparative anatomy, so like large animal anatomy. And I loved small animal anatomy last semester, but now that I'm hearing all these things about like large animal anatomy, I am very nervous about that. So
You'll be
it's like,
okay. You would just approach everything the same. Don't get psyched out before you start.
yeah.
And large animals kind of fun.
I've also heard that too. Like the labs are like 1 week you get this animal, and then like the next 2 weeks you get another. So I'm excited about that.
And the comparative aspect is amazing. I like, who has this part? Who has this part? Why is it optional?
And the
You're gonna
animal's
love
like
it.
big, like really big. So I'm like, this is gonna be it's like a group project, like a mini group project kind of every single time.
Yeah. Okay, you are starting your second semester. This is time for some self-reflection. How are you different from when you started your first semester?
I gotta think about this. I mean, I definitely know a lot more than I did when I like started vet school. And I knew I was gonna like know more things, obviously. But like the amount of things that I know now, it's like that's a lot compared to when I started. And I have a pretty good understanding on what like studying strategies work for me versus don't work for me and how to study for specific classes. Like I know for like anatomy, I'll most likely have to like go physically to the labs and like point out different things in order for me to like pass lab practicals compared to like histology where I'm like, okay, I need to go through all these objectives and make an Anki based on that. And then for physio to, oh gosh, make sure that, because I know that's a weak point for me, make sure that I do a one-on-one with my tutors and they've been really helpful. Love them so much. But I make sure that when I'm studying, I incorporate that one-on-one meeting with them. So anytime I do have any questions, or even if I don't, at least I touch bases with them so I could be like, okay, this is what I'm thinking. Please let me know if this is the right way to like approach this question. And they're like, yes or no.
Look at you all prepared. I love it. I love it. So you talked about your goal for getting your schedule set for this month. Do you have other goals for this month?
Other goals for this month, I would say, okay, one of them is really ridiculous, but for the same taekwondo banquet, everyone is like pretty formal. Like when you, let's say, go to prom or whatever, everyone's like in those formal kind of dresses. I have this one dress and I can fit into it, but I know that if I keep up with my gym routine, I'm gonna really fit into it. And it's gonna look make sure that I don't overdo it with like snacking or whatever, and like stick to my gym routine so I can like fit into that dress. That is one goal. It's silly.
That's excellent. That's not silly at all. That's
and
wonderful.
Then my next goal, sort of, okay, I know everyone is like, don't be like down if you get like a B, or like you studied so hard but you still ended up with a C in vet school. So surprise, surprise, last semester I actually ended the like semester with a GPA of 4.0.
Whoa!
And I was like, what? So
that is awesome.
I'm trying to see if I can like keep that up and not like get down if I do end up like with a B somewhere or like a C somewhere, because it happens. And especially with me also working, this will be like new for me to like balance.
Yeah, so
but
not at the expense of yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
The goal is to do really well and hopefully pass again with the 4.0.
That's very lofty. I know of only 2 people that kept the 4.0.
Ooh, they're smart. Because when I saw that on my transcript, I was like, oh my God, no way.
That's wonderful.
Physiology was gonna get me.
I'm so happy for you. You should be very proud of that, because that is a huge, huge accomplishment. It's wonderful. Yay.
Thank you.
Okay, so that might be the answer to the biggest win question.
Yeah.
What was your biggest win?
Yep, the 4.0, definitely 4.0. I was like doing all the calculations and stuff, because there was like 2 ways in how you like grade the physio exam. And I did really well on the final, like the part B portion, I got like an A, and the part A is like, I got like a super high B or borderline 90, something like that. And I was just doing the calculations and I was like, oh, if she does it this way, I passed that class with a 90. And I did. And that's what made my 4.0. So I was like really happy, because all other classes I was like, okay, I ended with the A, ended with the A, ended with the A. And I got like it was really funny. During, I think that Saturday, so officially winter break, I got an email from Dr. Hannon around like the topic was like, oh, you did really well on like the bonus question. Like, can you tell me how you went about your answer or something like that? And I was like trying to remember, because it was like swirl of that whole week was and I kind of just like explained to him how I got my answer, which is really funny. Cause I was like, I don't know, I just thought the stomach looked weird and everything was twisted, so that's how I thought it was like a GDV on a CT scan. And when he probably opened that email, he probably must have been like, what? When I got the grade back, I ended my final exam with 101. And I was like, what? Because I stepped out of that classroom when I was at the final, and I was like, that one got me. I don't know what. Oh no, if I did well, and turns out I did spectacular.
Yeah, it did not get you. You got it.
Get me.
Wonderful. So nice to see you. I can't wait till you're back in person. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience?
I guess even if you are afraid to like try something new, just do it and see how it goes, because I am very afraid on balancing like classwork and this job thing like in vet school. Like, I'm very nervous on how that's gonna go. Like, I really hope I don't have to like sacrifice my me time at the gym and my study time to work hours, but I'm gonna do it anyway and see how it goes. So, because at the end of the day, if I want to specialize in something, this is the experience that I'm gonna need and that they're looking for.
Yeah, and you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
I mean, it's never going to be a balance, right? Because priorities aren't equal and you need things to be equal to be balanced. So you might just have to shift your priorities each week or even throughout a day. But overall, you make sure that you get enough of everything to stay you and be happy and perform at the level that you want to perform. But you'll get it done. I still struck. That's what my big goal was over break, trying to organize everything. So
the work doesn't end when it's
figure out the gym and jobs.
Yeah.
And sport, introducing, trying new things and figuring out how it's all going to fit in, and still meal prep and do all the chores. But it all works out. It all works out. You'll be fine.
That means
all right,
a lot.
I'm going to let you go so you can enjoy the last few hours of your break.
Yep.
So thank you so much for being on the show.
Of course. Thanks for having me, as always.
And for our audience, you can learn more about other League of VetaHumanz superheroes at VetaHumanz.org. And when you realize, and I'm sure you have right now, that you love this episode, hit like, subscribe, follow us, let your friends know that this is an awesome podcast. And as always, use your powers for good.